Good morning, students. Let's begin second part of the story, Jalebis. And in the first part, we came to know that the narrator he went to school with 4 rupees for the school fees, but on the way he saw crispy fresh jalebis and his mouth watered. He wanted to eat the jalebis, and on coming home he could not control himself and he purchased 1 rupee jalebis. Second part introduction is given. He a heap of jalebis he eats and shares them liberally with one and all. Means he eats jalebis himself also, a lot of jalebis, and remaining jalebis he distributes or shares with other children and beggars. Though penniless now, he feels no less important than a mob leader. Now he has no money. Penniless means without any money, but he feels himself as a leader of the group. The real problem at hand is payment of school fees on time. So, just as I was gathering up the heap, in the distance I spotted our Tonga. Chacha Jan was returning from court. I clutched the jalebis to my chest and ran into a gully. When I reached a safe corner, I began to devour the jalebis. I ate so many jalebis that if anyone pressed my stomach a little, jalebis would have popped out of my ears and nostrils. So, narrator took the heap of jalebis and he saw that his Chachajan was coming home in the Tonga from the court. He clutched the jalebis, he held the jalebis to his chest and ran into a gully. And when he reached to a safe corner, he began to devour the jalebis. Devour means eat greedily. He ate so many jalebis that if anyone pressed his stomach a little, jalebis would have popped out of his ears and nostrils. Here, narrator has exaggerated. He told this thing to to imagine the reader that how many jalebis he has eaten. Next part, we can see in the picture also. Here, narrator is standing on a platform and he is distributing jalebis to other children and beggars also. So, in the next part, next paragraph, it is told that narrator distributed jalebis to the neighborhood boys, those who were in the gully, and he was very happy. And soon other children came and he gave jalebis to them also. He went to purchase 1 more rupees value of jalebis and came and stood on the chabutra of the one of the house and distributed to the children. He was he compared himself to the governor sahib, as governor sahib used to distribute rice to the poor and needy on Independence Day. In the same way, narrator was distributing jalebis to the poor children and beggars. Then many children came there and beggars also came there, and he narrator told that if children could be elected to the assembly, then his success would have been assured that day, because he was giving jalebis to the children and to the beggars, and they could do anything for him. Means they were ready to kill and get killed for the narrator, because he was giving them jalebis, and narrator purchased jalebis for the remaining 2 rupees and distributed them. Then he washed his hand and face and returned home. At night, he had to eat his dinner as well, and he could not tell his parents that he had eaten jalebis, because he had eaten jalebis with the school fees. So it then came the problem of digesting the jalebis, and now he was suffering for stomach, and he could not tell his parents because his parents would call the doctor, and doctor would immediately know his condition, and he would tell his parents that he had eaten so many jalebis. The result was that at that night he was coiled up like a jalebi, and next day he had to go to school. Children don't have stomachs, they have digestion machines. My machine too kept working right through the night. In the morning, just like other day, I washed my face, and like a virtuous student with a chalk and slate in hand, I headed for school. So narrator is saying that children don't have stomachs, they have digestion machines, and at night, during night, his stomach kept on working, and he was right, he was okay. In the morning he just washed his face, and just like a good student, virtuous student, noble student, he took his slate and chalk and went for the started for the school. He knew that he would get the previous month's scholarship that day, and once he would get that previous month's scholarship that day, and once he would pay the fees, the jalebis would be completely digested. But when the narrator went to school, he found that he would get the scholarship the next month. Now his head started spinning, he was feeling giddy, there was headache, and he felt that his head was spinning, and Master Ghulam Muhammad announced that the fees would be taken during the recess. And when the recess bell rang, he tucked his bag under his arm and left the school and simply followed his nose. He was walking straight. He kept on walking and walking, and then he reached, you can say, he reached the railway station, and he, on his way, he was thinking that I would pray to Allah Mia, I would pray to God, and I would tell God that just save me this time and send any angel so that the angel can give me 4 rupees in my pocket. And he promised that he would use those 4 rupees to pay the school fees and not to eat jalebis. And he reached the point where the Kambalpur railway station began. The elders had warned him, means his parents and elders, they warned him to cross the railway, not to cross the railway track. Fine. The elders had also warned him that one must never eat sweets with one's fees money. How he could forget this instruction, he didn't know. So in this way, second part ends, and we will continue with the remaining third part tomorrow. Thank you, students.